Okay, let's go ahead and correct our daily language for week 22. Make sure you have a pen or a colored marker to make your changes over what you've already written. So give the past tense of each verb. So this is going to be irregular, and irregular means not regular. So we're not going to say drived, we're going to say drove, because this is an irregular verb. And this one is going to be regular. And the regular way to make a verb in past tense is to put an ed on the end. So this one's going to be listened. So is this an exclamation, a statement, command, or a question? Sharpen all your colored pencils. Now? Well, because somebody said to do it now, it is a command. Okay, me and him don't got no homework. Wow, there's lots of things wrong with that sentence. It should be he and I. We only use me and him after the verb, okay? And we don't ever put ourselves first. So he and I don't, okay, this is a contraction for do not. So make sure you have an apostrophe in there. Have, we don't say got no, ever, never. We don't have any homework, period. Do you got any work that we can do? Do we want to earn some money? This is a case where there's too much information in one sentence, so we're probably going to need to break it into two. So capital D, do you have any work that we can do? This is a question, so we need a question mark. Capital, we want to earn some money. Okay, which is the correct way to divide the word into syllables? So this should be RO-D-O. And hopefully you pick that one as the correct one. We watched the lion hunt his prey on a television program. This one didn't have a whole lot to do. Just pretty much a capital W and a period at the end. There's no name of the television program, so that was pretty easy. Does you think this is a good price for notebook paper? We don't say does like that before the subject. Do you think this is a good price for notebook paper? And this is a question, so we need a question mark. We haven't talked about the predicate or the subject since the beginning of the year, so hopefully you remember. The predicate is the verb and everything that comes after it. So Jason and Tina bought a new house. Bought is the verb, and this is everything after it, so this is going to be the predicate. Okay, the subject is everything that comes before the verb, or who or what is doing the action in the sentence. So Tammy Hill has ballet on Mondays and Wednesdays. So Tammy Hill is the one that is doing it, so she is the subject. All right. Dad begun to doze off in his chair after dinner. So we just need a capital D for dad, and instead of begun, we'll say began to doze off in his chair after dinner in a period. There was another one where there wasn't very much. My favorite dinosaur is the Stegosaurus, reported Anthony to the class. Now, reported Anthony is another way, it's a really fancy way of saying said Anthony. So remember, I'd like you guys to use that kind of stuff in your writing, so I'm kind of glad they gave us that. So since this really is a said Anthony, that way we know this part is dialogue. That means people are talking. So that means it needs to be in quotation marks. So that's why I have quotation marks, capital, my. Favorite dinosaur is the Stegosaurus. Stegosaurus is capitalized because it's the name of a dinosaur. This is the end of what Anthony said, so we need the quotation marks. We need a comma to set it off from the rest of the sentence. And then reported, capital A for Anthony is his name, to the class, period. Put these words in alphabetical order. Okay, alphabetical order, you know, you always look at the first letter first. So they're all G's. In fact, they're all GA's. So we are going to have to, hopefully you said, look at the third letter. So we have an S, we have an R, we have an S, and we have an R. So now all we're really worried about is the S and the R's. We don't even see the GA's anymore, okay? So we're going to be concerned with R comes before S. So we're going to look at the two words that have the R next first. So we have RL and we have RA. So RA is going to come before RL. Okay, so that word's going to come first. This word's going to come second. Now we're going to look at the two that have the S. Is there anything after this one? So nothing is going to come before P. So this is your alphabetical order. So hopefully that is how you did it. Okay, when we look at these, we have all M's. In fact, we have all MI's. So we're just going to pretend that the MI is not even there because they're all the same, so it kind of makes them all even in that respect. We're going to look at the next letter. So we have an R, we have an N, we have an S, and we have an N. So of R, N, and S, what letter comes first in the alphabet? Hopefully you guys all said N. So since we have two N's, we have to look at both of those first. So we're going to look at the next letter, which is going to be K and U. So K comes before U. So this word is going to come first. This word's going to come second. Then we're going to go back to these and look at, we have the R and the S. So R comes before S. So this is going to be third and this is going to be fourth. Does the underlined adjective tell how many, which one, or what kind? We still have several students. So several is going to tell us how many. So hopefully you wrote how many on the line there. Okay, this week, give 3 words that rhyme with each. So we have time. You can say dime, slime, even the word rhyme. Oops, rhymes with dime. So we have play, stay, and these could be anything as long as they end in the same sound. Ray. Write one sentence using the homophone pair. So this for it tells like almost not necessarily a direction. And this one is the number. Okay, so how about I have 4 cookies for you. Okay, so the number of cookies and who it's going to. Okay, Jennifer, my best friend. Whenever you say 2 things that mean the exact same thing right in a row, you have to put the second one in commas. Okay, so Jennifer, my best friend. So we need commas here. Jennifer needs a capital J, and I'll give her another N. Move to Harrisburg, that's the name of a city, capital. Pennsylvania, name of a state, capital. Whenever we have a city and a state together, it needs a comma in between. Period at the end. On July 4th, July is the name of a month, capital J. O, beginning of a sentence, comma. We will watch the fireworks explode in the sky. We do not need to do anything to these fireworks because they just mean more than one firework. And when it means more than one, you just put an S or an ES, and in this case, an S. So it's just fine the way it is. All right, so good job. Hopefully you guys got those all correct. Make sure you mark the number wrong on the top of your pages and turn them in.